Hello, welcome to This Is Not Advice Day 82. This week, we're going to be talking about some questions that I think have been a live topic of conversation in the Twitter tech sphere for the last week. And so it's all about ethics and doing good while building things in technology. And so today, we're going to, Roy, I'm curious, what do I do if I feel like my employer lost sight of our mission?
Yeah. We're going right into it. This is the hard stuff because I've experienced this both from the perspective of an employee and from the perspective of an employer, and we'll talk about both of them. But let's just start with you're working somewhere and you're like, I'm just not feeling it anymore. Ways this can happen. We used to be devoted to our mission, but now we're just about dollars and cents. We used to be about succeeding as a business, but now we're about talking about all this other stuff. Treatment for me and others is really important. And I say this as a white man, so of course there's going to be standard privilege disclaimer, a lot of stuff I can't relate to. But things that are important to me, I can't find a place to bring them up at work. So those are some examples. And actually, why don't I stop for a second, Min? Does that feel like the kind of thing that is on your, where those dilemmas come up? Or are there other types of situations?
Yeah, I think because at the heart of it, a lot of this comes down to what are my values and what are my company's values, and do they feel aligned? And do I feel like when I show up to work that I am getting a chance to, that those are aligned, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to set aside the argument about how much of yourself should a company want you to bring to work, and just say as a matter of reality, you as the employee get to decide how much of yourself you bring. And the company may provide an inhospitable environment for it. It could be easy, it could be difficult, but ultimately that choice lies with you. And we could talk about Coinbase another day, but I kind of see what they did less as a matter of here's our principled stance, because Paul Graham was on Twitter saying fighting Trump could be seen as core to Coinbase's mission. And he's right, he could be. But so it's okay, so maybe it's less about whether you bring politics to work, but more about the kind of mentality they want to create in the workplace, the employee culture and stuff like that. So my basic way of thinking about it is the first thing to do is identify for yourself what the real issues are for you, because these things can often come in a swirl. My boss is really mean to me and I'm worried about whether this is a place that treats people well. Our CEO gave money to a political candidate that I don't agree with, and therefore I feel uncomfortable working for them. It could be, it's really important to me that our company be environmentally friendly, and I see us doing all this bad stuff. And so different kinds of specific mismatches between your values, and you don't know what your company's values are. You only know their behaviors. You know your own values, but mismatches between what you see your company doing, which is values expressed, and your own values, you got to get diagnostic about that. And then it's like so many other things, it's an escalation process. It's well, maybe the answer is somebody did it inadvertently and I can go just talk to the office manager about getting recycled paper. Maybe it's so profound that you need to quit. And there's 1,000 gradations in between. And so there's no one right answer. What I would just say is knowing yourself, talking to people at the company you trust, and gradually escalating, that feels to me like the tradecraft, and you can get better at it. And look, there are inappropriate ways to do it. If you make every meeting not work because you have some issue about values, well, at some point the company's gonna be we can't function as a company anymore, and they're gonna take action on you. And so if you want to remain there, which you may not, you don't have to, but sometimes you need to, then you got to be savvy about it. Now, I'm not saying don't push or swallow your tongue, but you have to be savvy, and we can talk about how, but at a high level, that's it. It's diagnose the value differences, recognize that they're all quite different from each other, and then gradually begin to escalate. And look, I've done stuff said I'll say something in public about what the company did. Sometimes I had power to do it, sometimes I didn't. I've left over not feeling comfortable about working on something. I've had people leave on me over things they felt uncomfortable about, and everything in between. So it's sort of you got lots of cards in your deck. You got to start figuring out the order in which to play them.
Yeah, the one thing I'll add is calibrating that based on there's two levels of calibrating, right? One is your level of discomfort, and then the other is I think where's the company's life where's the company in their life too, because I think a lot of early employees at startups will join because it's so mission oriented, and a lot of the time that's a huge motivating factor. And then as the company becomes thousands, tens of thousands of people, it might look a little different.
100%. And also their capacity to do things may differ. So, at News Corp, I was responsible for making News Corp carbon neutral, which it remained for a few years after I left. News Corp has the resources to become carbon neutral because big old company. I mean, I remember we probably bought, I can't remember, but millions of dollars in carbon offsets because you can reduce your carbon footprint so much. And by the way, Rupert gave a big speech on fighting climate change, and it was printed in the New York Post and all this stuff. Good luck finding it on the internet now. But if it was a very early stage company that is strapped for cash and you're like, we need to buy carbon credits, it's like, listen, we just need to survive. And so I think you're so right that the industry, the country, and the stage of the company's life all matter, both to what it may be like, whether it's mission oriented or not. Amazon, to many people, feels very mission oriented, and to their capacity to get stuff done.
Totally. Well, thanks, Roy. Roy and I are at Bloomberg Beta. We're talking about questions that you might have at work. And this week we'll be talking about other questions that are a little trickier, perhaps, and around your politics and how you feel about your values. It seems we're living in kind of extraordinary circumstances, and so it kind of feels hard to ignore.
As you know, I'm road tripping to Wisconsin later this week and staying there through the election. And so this wonderful camera setup that our partner James helped me set up will be gone for a little while, starting tomorrow, I think. But I will still be
on
here.
The road.
Exactly. All right, man.
Talk to you.